guys, today guys I'll be showing you guys how to install Zorin OS in a photo machine. Okay, to do this, what you guys will need to do is go over here and then now go to photo box and install it from here, and then we can install photo box, and this will allow it to actually set up for a photo box. So we can download through here. There'll be different types of operating systems here which you can download. Just if you're on Windows, then just select this one and it will show up in an exe file. If you want to install macOS, then install this one for Linux distributions, click onto this one, and so on. So basically it's very easy just as to install. I don't need to show you guys how to do it because it's quite easy. And to install it on a USB stick, what you need to do is get Etcher, and basically it's also very simple to use and to install. So I have to get what ISO file, and then this is a device where I want it to be saved onto, such as an SD card, and I press the flash button and it should flash it, and once it's done then it will show up as it's done. So this is available for Windows and Linux, I believe. I'm not sure about Linux. Should be available on Linux. Anyway guys, so what we'll be doing is installing Zorin OS, but we can find this on any other operating system if we want, but mostly we're going to be doing the Zorin OS inside a photo machine, or we can install it from a actual PC, but in that case we'll have to use Etcher and boot up with the BIOS, and then we have to set up so that way we boot up from the USB stick instead of a hard drive. Okay, for that one, press into cancel. For me, now go to new. We have to go to new if we have a photo machine. We may have to restart this if we don't see 64-bit support, and then it should work. Okay, it's just weird like that with Linux. Alright, for this one we can go to Zorin OS and make sure that to go to next, and now give it as much RAM as you possibly are right to lose. Okay, I'm going to close out this. Let's close out of Firefox as well. Give it as much RAM as I possibly can. For my case, I'll just give it around that. Go to next, create a photo hard disk, yes, create a photo disk now, I guess. Okay, so I guess I've got to do that, and then photo box, disk image, yeah. And we can have a fixed size, so let's have a 6 fixed size, and for this one we can go for about like around 31 gigabytes of storage, and that should create it. That should only take a few minutes for it to be created. How much storage should I even have? I should have a lot though. So if you go to this PC, I've got loads of space. So guys, I may have to pause this video because it may take a few minutes for it to be done. It shouldn't take that long to do anyway, so let's just wait. I'll be back once it's done. Hello guys, if we do not want to wait, then there's another way of doing this. So we can do Zorin OS, which I will show you guys because this is what I normally use, but for better performance, that's why I did that one. But we can also, hold on, I did something wrong there, I meant to change around. Alright, go to Zorin OS, and now from here, how much storage do I have? I should still have the same amount because I just cancelled it. Yeah, not much, it's been wasted. Okay, cool. Yeah, still got loads of space left. Alright, go to Zorin OS and select Linux, and then select our Linux 64-bit, and I'll go to next. Give it as much RAM as you want, and I'll go to next. Now create a third disk now, create this one, and now go to fixed size. No, we don't want fixed size, go for that, click allocated. And now for that one, we can give it as much space as it truly wants. So give it around 32 gigabytes maybe, and now I should be able to create it. And I'll go to settings. Now this is where we have to change some settings. Okay, so room one might be different, so what I would do, so that one seems correct, right? Yeah. Okay, that seems fine. Now for this part we need to grab the ISO file. So to do this, choose a disk file, and it should be in the downloads area. Here it is. Okay, so I got it here. So go to general. We can go to advanced. These are like different settings that we can go to. We can play around with it if we wanted to, but be careful here. Increase the video memory to around this far up. Don't put it too high. Okay, so yep. Okay, and now we can start the photo machine, and it should boot up to Zorin OS. Okay, it should be booting up any minute now. It's similar as installing Linux Mint. so it should be fine. Alright, so it should be booting up. Now try or install Zorin OS, so you can go here, and now it should be booting up. Yeah. Okay, it's going to check for ISO file. Now we can cancel this if I wanted to, but I don't really recommend that. So it's going to scan it. It should check for any errors, if there is any. Check for any corruption. It shouldn't be corrupted anyway, because I just installed it fully. So it's 12%. Okay. So if it comes out with no errors, then we're fine. But if it does come out with some form of errors, then we may have to do a reinstall of the ISO file. But it's only got like around 50 seconds to do anyway. It's pretty fast to check for whole file. Just let it to do all this stuff. By the way, guys, Zorin OS is based on Ubuntu, and Ubuntu is based in Debian, so it's based in Debian, and it's a pretty good system. People said very good things about it. Yeah, check finish, no errors were found. Okay, that's a good thing. So it should be booting up to Zorin OS any minute now, right? Okay, so failed. I'm mounting CD-ROM. That's fine. Okay, so everything should say okay if there's no errors on this system. Yep, looks like there's no errors. Okay, now it should be booting up to the OS, and it should be fine. For the machine, yep. Okay, well guys can make it full screen by just going to view and then switch to full screen, and then we should be able to install that way. As you guys can see, this is our mouse pointer. It should be loading up any minute now. It's loading. But what's different about Zorin OS is that it kind of looks like Windows, like Linux Mint does. Wow, it actually looks pretty nice. I never actually played around with this before, but it's very simple to install though, and how to install it is similar as to Linux Mint. Okay, so it should be booting up right now. It's finishing loading. Shouldn't take that long. It is a Linux distribution after all. But I forgot, guys, if we want it to be full screen, then we'll have to change the resolution. To do that, we're going to have to go to settings, but the system hasn't even loaded up yet. So we should just probably wait for system loads. Is it loaded? No. Well, that was interesting. What the hell happened there? Was that actually for music? Okay, that's cool. So we can try it, or we can install Zorin OS. But we can try out if we wanted to by going to try Zorin OS, but in this episode we'll be installing it. So by pressing into Zorin OS, we can test out its functions, you can test out how it works and stuff like that. And yeah, just check out for customizations and things like that. So to install it, click onto the Zorin OS install, and it should install it. So we can either do a manual partitioning if you're an expert, or we can do the a simple install. So for English UK, select the UK English UK keyboard, because I'm English and I've got an English keyboard on me. So it should be fine. Selecting English UK. Should be loading. It does take a while though sometimes for it to download, so it might take like 15 minutes. By the way, guys, I don't really recommend you guys doing manual partitioning, unless if of course you are an expert. But if you're watching this video, then obviously we're not an expert, we're just beginning with Linux. Because obviously this is a very simple install. Okay, so don't participate in there if we don't want them to count the number of users anonymously. Okay, so they're gonna count me. That's cool. Continue. Let's wait for it to load. So it's gonna update Zorin OS download updates while installing Zorin OS, install third-party softwares. Yeah. I probably should not enable that though, but if you want it to be a faster install, then just disable that, and then that shouldn't do it. But I think I already enabled it, so it should be taking me to a sign-in page or something like that. By the way, there's a Pro edition of this as well. The Pro edition has more features, but I don't really see a point of getting the Pro edition. You can easily get these features for free. Okay, just wait. Okay, here we are now. Let's go back, because we don't want to install any updates. I don't want to install any updates, at least. I would just rather have it with no new updates, so that way the install will be a lot more faster. But guys, should be enabled it, so that way I don't have to do any updates. But in my case, I do want to do some for my updates, so I can deselect this. Install third-party softwares, yep, and now I can continue. And now I'm just not going to download any updates for me, so it should be a fast install. And then we can talk about how to change the display, which should be in the settings area, but we can't change it from here for some reason. World connection, yeah. Okay, so it should allow us to be connected to the download part very soon. Okay guys, it's taking a while. might as well just minimize it. Okay, so basically, this is what we're installing. We can drag it like this if we wanted to. Okay, so this part is where we can erase it or do a manual partition. To do that, I have to go to something else and do a manual partition. There's some advanced features that we can go to, which will be erase disk and use this, or we can encrypt it. But for this one, for this install, we're just gonna be installing for actual basic things. So just click on to install. Okay, so now should it be installing Zorin OS very soon. Okay, so 1, 2, 3 installing. I'm gonna pause the video and I'll be back once it's done installing, and we can set up other things. Okay, so these are the partitions that will be formatted. So if they're doing this on real hardware, make sure that will back up. And there's a way of doing a manual, doing a dual boot, but we're just gonna be learning how just to erase everything. But we guys can always do a dual boot if you want to do anyway. So this is for partitions that will be formatted. Before we continue, make sure that I have backed up all data. This is very important, because this will delete everything from a hard drive. In fact, this is a virtual machine, so it doesn't matter. Just click on to continue, and then what that should do is just install Zorin OS inside the virtual machine. Well, not yet, because you need to say our location. London. We live in London. Definitely do live in London. No, I don't. I don't actually live in London. Why would I? London is ugly. Okay, for this one, you can go with Self Jonathan, and then create a password, which will be your password. Make sure it's a very good password though. And then from there, we can set up so that way we log in automatically, or require a password. But in our case, we're going to log in automatically. But when you're doing something like installing softwares or doing anything that requires a password, then we still have to write down our password, so we still have security. But if you care about security, then go for require a password to log in. But we're going to log in as automatically in this virtual machine. Now continue. Okay, so now it should be formatting all of these partitions. I'm going to pause the video. There should be a slideshow happening over here, like it does with our Linux distributions. If you want to see what's happening in the background, then we can check over here. This isn't a very good scale mode. You can always do that if you wanted to. We don't want to do that. Okay guys, so once it's been installed, now what we're going to have to do is do a reboot. Okay guys, I'm going to pause the video, and then once it has been successfully installed, then I will be back very soon. Bye. Hello guys, I hope that coffee break was very good. It is almost finished installing for me. I'm just going to go back to full screen and should be booted up any minute now. So hopefully your coffee break was awesome. My one was. I really enjoyed my coffee while I was trying to install the OS. Still, it's going to be creating for installation logs into a hard drive, so we can see how the installation went, I guess. We can skip for installation, whatever that means. Okay, so once I have it installing, we'll have to press on to restart now, which what we won't do. What we'll be doing is we're going to exit from here. If we're using this auto hardware, make sure press on restart now and it will start your computer. Because this is a VM for me, I will have to restart it manually and get rid of the ISO file. So do that, and I have to get rid of the ISO file, starting for auto machine, and I'll go to settings, and now to get rid of the ISO file we have to get rid of it from here. Don't know if we can get rid of it doing for our Zorin OS. I was still on for Zorin OS though, but I know we can do it from here, and this is where I would do it anyway. So let's remove the ISO file. Do not remove this one. We can change that one to solid state drive if we wanted to. We can do that, but I will just keep it as a hard drive. So now if I want to boot up, then press onto a start button and it should be booting up to the system. And then there's some little things that we will need to do, such as updating the system. And then secondly, if we did that in updating while we're installing it, then there's not really much for you to worry about, but it should be booting up any minute now. And then we have to change the resolution of the actual OS, because as you guys saw for installation, that was a bit messed up. But we can change that any minute now. So it should be bringing up to the OS. Yeah, we are here now. Press on the escape key so that way you can see if there's any errors, which I probably won't be. But there is some errors. It says error failed to send host log message. So that's not a problem at all. Definitely not a problem. So if it says that everything is okay, then everything is okay basically. That means our system is fine. So we can do that to troubleshoot if I have any kind of panics, if I can't boot up for some reason. It might be due to IoT software problem. In that case, we may have to do some debugging. I mean some changes. So it might take a long time for it to boot up on a first boot, but it should be able to boot up. What we're gonna have to do though is create our username and password. Actually, we did that. Yeah, I was thinking of GNOME for some reason. I think this is based on GNOME actually, not too sure. But they do have a GNOME version of the actual thing though, so it can change to look like GNOME. So yeah, yeah, it is based on GNOME then. Yeah, I knew it was based on GNOME. I knew it from the beginning. So it should be booting up any minute now. Yeah, should be booting up, and then from here, because you said it as sign in automatically, so that means it will sign in automatically for us, unless we obviously did the opposite and you have to put down a password in that case. But for me, in my case, I would have to put down the actual password. So what you guys will need to do to update the system is that you're going to have to open up the terminal, or you can go for the GUI way, the graphic user interface way, and install it that way, which I will show both ways on how to update. So to update Zorin OS in the terminal, we're going to be talking about that to begin with. Okay, it should be bringing up any minute now. I'm going to just exile these. This. What we're going to have to go to though is change the resolution. To do this, go to settings, and then from here we're going to have to change the resolution. So we are in settings, right? Oh, there's settings right over here, and this is where I had to change the resolution off the screen, because as you guys can see, let's change the resolution, shall we? So to do this, I go to display, and then from here we can change it, so we can change it to 20 to that if we wanted to. Would it be that? Let's apply and see. Doesn't seem like it. Okay, so let's keep changes. So yeah, this is how we can change it to big resolution screen. Okay, so let's keep the changes, and then from here we can go back in here. Now we can just drag this one in, and then like that, and now we can start the tour and just see all it's about. So open the menu to launch applications, so we can do that, and that will allow you to open up Office softwares like LibreOffice or Calendar or Contacts or email. We can go back, we can open up the internet, Firefox web browser. There's some games they have on here, such as these games. We can install Steam on this OS. There's also wine support that comes with it. So you can go to next, choose your desktop look with, so you can change your desktop theme if you wanted to. So from here, I just go to launch this Zorin OS themes, which you possibly can do with settings. Okay, so we're here now, right? So you can change the look of it. You can change it to this if you wanted to, or you can change it to look like a little bit more like Windows C. So this will do that. Looks like more of a Mac should look. And there's some other desktop environments that we can get, but we had to pay for them, sadly. But yeah, this is how we can change it. I don't know what this button exactly does. I opened up these applications. It looks similar to GNOME though, but you can definitely do that if you wanted to. I'll show up these applications. We can go to the additional drivers. So this will allow you to install some drivers for this OS, like photo box drivers. Or we can even change to this one, to this theme, which is basically a GNOME theme. And then from here, which I don't really like GNOME theme, to be honest. GNOME has gone terrible. I would like to change to this one, and that's fine. Yeah, because this one is very nice looking. We can go over here if we wanted to, and this is where you can do all the stuff in. So we can do Office, we can go to Internet, we can go to Graphics. That's pretty cool. And now to exit, just press onto this X button, and that should exit from this. Okay, so software and update. So this will update with softwares, searching for additional drivers. So it's going to look for any proprietary drivers. So if you're having issues, then this is where we could download some proprietary software drivers. Okay, so speed up for photo machine. Install guest editions for Photobox. Let's do that. So that way we get a faster experience. Okay, these are everything. Install software. Install. This is quite important to install this. So that way we can get the best experience that we ever could get. Okay, now put down our password, and now we should be able to install some additional drivers or whatever, additional softwares. So this is like debugging, so you can see all these information. That is what it's downloading at the very moment. This is the terminal now. The terminal is basically a text command, which you'll be using a lot in Linux. But if you switch to Linux, obviously we're very advanced now. Okay, so it should be very good to install. It's based on Ubuntu, so obviously going to see lots of Ubuntu. But yeah, it's almost done installing these Photobox drivers. So yeah, once I have installed that and installed all the drivers, additional drivers, you can install these ones if I wanted to. Photo guest, okay. Yeah, these does not really matter. Already installed one of them. Okay, software updater is ready. Cool. Updates. Updated software has been installed since it was released. Do you want to install it now? So this is what needs to be updated. So we're going to have to do all this updates. To install it, just click it here, or we can install it for terminal. By doing it for terminal, what you guys will need to do is do Ctrl-Alt-T, and that should open up the terminal. And then we should do sudo apt update, and then that should update the system. So you can do sudo apt update, and then what that should do is update the system if we wanted to do it through the command line, which is quite easy to do with command line. Just do sudo apt update. Now scan for any packages that needs updating, and I had to do after that. I had to do sudo apt get upgrade. Oh, or if you want to do for graph user interface, all we need to do is install now. Let's do that. Sudo apt update. Oh, okay. doesn't work on it for some reason. But then in that case, just download Fifograph using OS. It's made to be a simple distribution anyway. I go to install now, and then that should install every update that we'll have for the system. Okay, so after we've done that, we can connect with online accounts if we really wanted to. I'm just gonna have it running while we take a tour around this to speed things up. Okay, so link a phone and computer with Zorin Connect. They recently have added that. If you want to install some softwares, then go over here and then launch softwares, and then that should open up a software manager, and I'll show you guys what it's more about. So yeah, this is what it's doing. It's waiting. Okay, so this is a software manager where we can install some softwares. This is an update to the software, so softwares is up to date. So that's a good thing. So this is based on GNOME. This is a GNOME sort of thing. Update privileges. We can go to here, and then we can go to about softwares, and it will say it's GNOME or something. Credits. Ooh, it's created by these people. That's pretty cool. I don't really want to read their name. Okay, so this is their Surface Suite. So you can install LibreOffice and you can install only Office. So it really depends what you want. So yeah, they both are great. Okay, so thanks, that's it. We hope that we'll enjoy Zorin OS, and now we can visit our home page if we wanted to by clicking onto this link. And now it can close. And now what should happen is that I should be able to download some softwares. So I'll install installing for the box guess. So I guess that is waiting for that to be done. Alright, so it has me want to install some additional softwares. Just exit from that. Okay, so this should be done very soon. But what guys can do, just play around with it, just get used to this desktop. We don't need an antivirus, we don't need anything like that. This is Firefox. I don't know what version this is running at the moment. Is it for latest? I don't know. Probably be like 92 because it does have an update to it. So to find out, just go ahead and go to About Firefox, and then from here it should tell you what version of Zorin OS what version of Firefox it comes with this. So we can activate graphics card. Okay, so this is 91.0.1, so this is a bit outdated. Okay, so to close out this, we can do that. So some softwares on here looks like it's outdated a bit. Okay, okay, it should be done. Rubbish bin has started. There's home. So this is where all files should be stored on, basically. Making it a home directory. You can just add a folder in here. Did they have like GNOME disks on here to check health disk? Because if we go to system tools, they don't seem to have that for some reason. Most distros does comes with GNOME disk. They do instead have disks, so this is where we can basically check out the disk. See if there's anything wrong with it. And for me it says Smart is not supported, so that's okay. That's cool. Smart is basically like a tool to scan for any bad sectors and to see if a hard drive will fail soon. It's quite important to regularly check the health of the disk though, just to make sure that everything is running fine. So it was built against this version, your disk. This is the credits for people who made it. Yeah, I gave this photo box around 35 gigabytes of space. Firefox had crashed and had a problem and crashed. That's fine, quit Firefox. Because I think it's installing some software now. I think it's finished with photo box stuff. Oh, okay, that's a quick install. So where's Firefox? So from here we can extend that partition, but I don't recommend doing it from here though, because that will most likely will mess things up. And then we're going to try to boot up, but instead we get a drop error. So don't mess around with these partitions. This is how to remove it. This is how to change the settings for it, adding additional partition options. This is how to mount it. Do I recommend doing that? No, I don't, because that will mess up your operating system. Ooh, but what I want is if I want to change this to dark mode, then what I may have to do is search up in settings. Like if I want to change the background, then you can do that from here. Colors. Okay, so this is the background wallpaper, so you can change that to this, for example, and that should change the wall background color, background image. Oh, it's just black. Was that a bug? Yeah, oh, there it is. Okay, so it's download for Linux firmware. That is quite important. Let's have a look at the games on Zorin OS that was installing some updates, because you guys have the freedom to do that. I like looking at the games. Games are cool. I love this game. I was like, I always have been addicted to this game when I was like a kid with just 7. Like that was like a similar game to this, where we'll go to when I, oh my gosh, master drivers. That's cool. So this is like everything. So this is basically how to play this game. So you need to grab this and then do that, and then there will be this, and then I have to put that one with it has to be the same though. It cannot be different. So we can do the actual. Let me show up an example. So we can do this one and this one. But what we can't do is this one and this one, because they're not both the same, and you can't do this one because that one has stuff around it. So yeah, that's basically a simple game that anyone can play. So this one can go with this one, and etc. Okay, so this was basically a tour around this game. We can go back. We can go to games. There's other games such as Mines, which I'm very bad at. I think this is like GNOME Mines or something, by the GNOME team. I don't know. It might be running a wine. Yeah, it's GNOME thing. So we can do that one, and then that one will be able to do a bomb. Oh gosh, I don't like this at all. So we can do that. We can do that. And if I hit a bomb, then I lose the game basically. Ah, we can add flags in this game. Just add flags to them all. That's how it's fix that with problems. But flags everywhere. Ooh, I hit a bomb. That's not good. Okay, so this was Mines, which was based on the older version of Windows version. Okay, so once it's finished installing some updates, it may ask you to do a reboot, and then from there we can do a reboot and then shut down and enter a video there. It's basically finished everything, and you guys would have installed softwares by now, because I showed you guys how to do it. We can also install softwares from here by just searching up a software manager or something. This is for videos and stuff like that we can use. This is a downloads directory where the downloaded files will go. Okay, so right now is unpacking Firefox, and there's Cheese, which is a video taking app, which won't work because I'm not connected to a webcam. Sadly, we can't see my beautiful face. This is a bit weird, but okay. I mean, this part is a bit weird. I don't know what's happening there. Maybe it's just an error or something that I can't find my face, my beautiful face. Anyway, guys, you can exit from there if I wanted to. Yeah, guys, that was like a simple tutorial on how to use Zorin OS, and basically how to install Zorin OS and how to set it up. I might as well just shrink it a bit. I know it's going to be very big though. Like that, I have to use a school bus now. Imagine that. Anyway, guys, I might as well just end the video there. So once you have installed all the updates, no, obviously may ask you to do a reboot because of a kind of update, or we can just do a reboot from here, and then we can go to shutdown, and then you should get power off or restart. Just click on that button, and it will tell you if we are sorry for the shutdown, and then we can press on to yes and stuff like that. So it's pretty much simple to do. So it's going to be installing Firm Mode, UDisk 2. Zorin desktop themes, unpacking Zorin icon themes. So this is the latest version of GNOME. the installation was very easy, to be honest, and it's great for new beginners. That's why I did the tutorial on this. Okay guys, I'm gonna end the video there. Wow, this is updating possibly, or I can just wait for it to be installed. We can like have a more look around it. So this is a Zorin OS logo. So what can I do with taskbar? Can I change it? I didn't actually did much with Zorin OS recently. I'm kind of new to it as well. So we can change the size of it if I wanted to, like very big. Ooh, that's cool. But I don't want that because it's not the best. And then we can change the position on it, so we can have it like on the bottom, on top, or for left, or for right. So let's have it on the left side of things, like this. Or we can have it on top, like a fancy person. And then we can set up our taskbar to be wherever I want it to be, and then we can go back to style. Actually does look very nice like this though, don't you guys agree? And then we can go to panel auto hide, you can go to actions and so on. So click action, so you can do that. Cycle windows, maybe do nothing, I don't know. Behavior, so this is how you can change some things. Isolate monitors, isolate workspaces. We can go back to positions and then just apply these positions, display on all monitors. If we want to do that style, it's just a style of it. We can make it smaller if we wanted to. Yeah. So it's going to be installing some software updates right now. FMemory is still updating, but this is a calendar, this is a notifications, do not disturb, we can turn on. We can go back to settings, we can go back over here and we can go to videos. And yeah, this was basically how to use Zorin OS and a tutorial around it. I'm going to end the video there because it's going to take a while for it to update, and I'll show you guys how to do a reboot. Okay guys, so I'm going to end the video there. I hope that you guys liked this video, and please like and subscribe, and please leave a comment if we would use Zorin OS or not. I personally like Zorin OS, but it's a pretty good operating system. And you guys, basically it's like a photo machine tutorial. So I taught you guys how to make a photo box operating system, which is pretty easy to do actually. So the difference between a dynamical so when you go to the actual photo box and when you go to new, the difference between the dynamical annotation versus the type down random name is just an example. So the difference between, I have to do that now. So the difference between the actual dramatical and to allocated is that the fixed size is like the fixed size, whereas dramatically allows you to extend the partitions, and the dynamical allocation is a lot more slower than fixed size. That's why I recommend you guys to do a fixed size, because it's a lot more faster to do things, but you're only limited to how much you give it for a photo machine. Whereas dynamical allocated means that it's going to be a lot more slower, but at least you can just get more storage if you wanted to. So yeah guys, that was basically a video tutorial. Thanks guys so much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and yeah guys, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.